They still live out there in the morning mists of the high country, shy, secretive, almost a myth. Most of us will never see a cougar in the wild. It is a magnificent animal, awesome in its strength and grace of movement. A legendary hunter, it is the supreme North American predator. After 3 or 4 million years of evolution, the cougar has adapted to deserts, jungles, and mountains throughout the Americas. They can be born any time of year, even in winter snows. And for a newborn cougar, home may be only an overhanging rock. The closest bond in nature is that between mother and young. Unable to leave her helpless 2-week-old kitten alone for long, this first-time mother often returns from hunts without food. Life in the wild is a daily struggle between starvation and survival. But nature helps new mothers survive by only giving them 1 or 2 kittens. Older females with more experience can have as many as 6. In North America, cougars used to inhabit the 48 continental states and Canada, as far north as Yukon. Now, hunting and habitat loss have reduced their range to remote areas of Western Canada and the United States, and a small population in Florida. Elsewhere, they are only a rumor. There are people who've lived their entire lives in cougar country and have never seen one. It is hard to imagine a more perfect predator than the cougar. Where wolves and grizzlies have been exterminated, it is the only large predator left, surviving on its unequaled stealth and wariness. This meat-eater lives on the biggest animals it can bring down. If bighorn sheep populations are high, it dines on sheep, right down to the bone. Like all predators, it will eat whatever it can catch. But members of the deer family have the most to fear. Mule and white-tailed deer are its common prey, but it also hunts moose, elk, and caribou. Silent and patient, the cougar stalks its prey from cover until close enough to rush the final distance. It attacks from the rear or the side, leaping on the prey's back and biting the neck or skull. In a few seconds, it can kill an animal 5 or 6 times its own weight. As deadly as it is, the cougar is anything but a wanton killer. It hunts to eat, nothing more. Biologists say cougars actually have little effect on the population of deer and other ungulates. The lynx is the closest relative to the cougar in North America. They are 2 of 37 species of cats in the world and share a common ancestor. A lynx trying to eat at a cougar's kill does so at its peril, for it can be easily killed by the much larger cougar. It's been 3 long winter months for the cougar kitten. Her inexperienced mother has hunted enough food to keep them both alive. And now, during a May snowstorm, she has brought down a deer. It's the first time she's brought the kitten to a kill. Until now, she has nursed her or brought meat back to a temporary den. Sometimes, the mother will leave the kitten at kills. This way, the kitten has plenty to eat, as well as a built-in playground. And soon, the kitten will go with the mother to hunt, because already, playfully, this young cougar is learning how to stalk. The kitten also has to learn basic cougar dining etiquette. Some of it is instinct, but she also imitates her mother. Her teeth are still too tiny to do much damage, but she fiercely attacks the dead deer and succeeds in plucking out the hair. But she still can't get to the meat underneath. Like mothers everywhere, this one's work is endless. A female with growing young may need a deer every 3 or 4 days, while a lone cougar may hunt only once every 2 weeks. At this age, the young cougar is still a clumsy baby. However, the blue eyes will soon start to turn amber, and her spots are already starting to fade. The change from playful kitten to the deadliest of predators is underway. Cougars are territorial animals. It is thought they control their own numbers by spacing themselves out in sometimes huge territories. A male cougar, like this Tom, may patrol an area covering hundreds of square kilometers. Over time, he knows his range as well as people know their own backyards. The Tom uses the ice on rivers and streams as natural pathways. And sometimes, the path takes him straight to a possible meal. Knowing that beaver come out in the spring, he keeps checking beaver lodges in his territory. Beavers are a very small part of a cougar's diet, but a predator never passes up potential food. A beaver rushing to make spring repairs to its dam is too busy to realize the danger. An experienced hunter, the Tom has the patience to wait for the right moment to attack. Success or failure is decided in seconds. Internal organs are eaten first because they are higher in protein fat and vitamins. And if interrupted, he's already had the best parts. After he has eaten his fill, the cougar will often bury the remains. This provides food for later, and hiding also protects it from other predators. Like an old house cat after a good meal, a cougar can relax and rest, maybe even snooze away the rest of the day. A male cougar prefers to sleep in cover of some kind and will use caves or rock hollows. Once thought to hunt only at night, they also hunt in the evening or early morning. Their scientific name, Puma concolor, means cat with coat of one color. But this cat has more than 80 colorful names. Mountain lion, puma, panther, and catamount are some of the common ones. Lesser known are devil cat, mountain screamer, yellow tiger, and snow ghost. Cougars have two ways of traveling: a zigzag pattern to find prey when hunting, or a more direct pattern following natural features when patrolling his territory. A cougar in the wild moves as effortlessly as water over a rock. This tom has long, muscular legs, with its hind legs longer than the front ones. He also has a flexible backbone and the long, thick tail for balance. But impressive as a cougar is, he faces many hazards. Some starve or die in fights with other cougars. Hunters, using dogs, kill hundreds more. This cat is grace, beauty, and strength. He can leap over 10 meters horizontally, or 3 meters vertically. Many cougars are hurt by the horns or hooves of the animals they hunt, and their prey try to make the struggle as difficult as possible. Mountain sheep know they are safer in rough, open terrain. Although a cougar prefers to hunt from cover, hunger can force him to hunt in the open. This can be dangerous. We can only speculate about what happened, but probably in the final moments of an attack, hunter and hunted ran off the cliff. Prey and predator, fighting for life, together found death. The young cougar, is now 9 months old and no longer a kitten. She is still not ready to go off on her own, but the time is getting close. Young cougars usually stay with the mother for 12 to 18 months. They've been known to survive on their own as young as 6 months, but this is unusual. The longer she spends with her mother, the more she can improve her hunting and stalking skills. And her skill in stalking is definitely improving, much to Mom's disgust. Raising a kitten is hard work, and the mother now wants to spend more time relaxing. The youngster just wants to play. But this play also sharpens her skills. Any time now, the kitten will start going off on its own to hunt, the first step in leaving her mother permanently. It's not known if the young leave of their own accord or are abandoned by the mother. Becoming a young transient will be a critical time for this cougar. She not only has to hunt well enough to feed herself, she has to find her own territory. Dispersing reduces inbreeding. But because only so many cats can live in any one area, she might have to search for months and may never find her own range. Females may not breed until they establish a territory. Males without a home range also have little success in mating. A cougar without a territory probably dies young. The eventual fate of this young female cougar cannot be known. This female has established a home range and is successfully raising 2 young. Females' territories are small and overlapping. Male territories are large and may overlap 2 or more females, but very seldom overlap another males. Except when mating, cougar society can be described as mutual avoidance. To avoid or find each other, they have developed a kind of biological traffic signal. Leaving her young unprotected, the female patrols her territory and finds a scrape left by the resident male cougar. A scrape is a pile of sticks, dirt, and leaves in a shallow hole scented with urine or feces. This is cat communication, the freshness of the scent telling the female how recently the male has been there. The male cougar, patrolling his territory, has returned to the area. Male cougars are always looking for receptive females. The female catches the male's fresh scent. Male cougars may kill unprotected kittens, pushing the female into heat again, which allows the male to breed with her. Worried, she plays it safe, returns to her young, and quickly moves them to a new location. Finding fresh female scent, the male's sexual hopes soar, and he has more than his nose to tell him if this is a receptive female. Mountain lions have a special gland in the top of their mouths to get more information from a scent. Sniffing the air with a lip-curling grimace known as the Flehmen response, he can tell this female is not ready to breed. Usually, females don't come into heat again until their young are old enough to survive on their own. Knowing she is not available, he continues searching elsewhere in his territory, while she, unmolested by the single-minded male, can concentrate on raising her young. There is still a lot we don't know about cougars. Serious studies where cats are collared and tracked only started in the 60s. One of the world's longest cougar studies was conducted in Alberta's Sheep River country. With knowledge of their everyday behavior, biologists reinforce our understanding that cougars are an integral part of the complex of life. However, coexisting with these free-roaming felines is difficult, and our attitude towards them is mixed. In some places, they are considered endangered and protected. Elsewhere, people consider them a threat or a trophy and hunt them persistently. Their mystique gives them a place in our imagination. But our only hope to preserve them is to make sure we give them a place and plenty of space in large wilderness areas. For the cougar, as the ultimate predator, sits on top of the food chain. More than a symbol, a cougar is living proof the entire ecosystem is healthy. Even if we never see one ourselves, the cougar is too important and too beautiful to lose.